So it's the rainy season here in the Motagua Valley here in Guatemala, and it's just before sunset, and this time of year, when the rains start and the temperatures cool down a bit, it's the perfect recipe for all the cool reptiles to come out at night, including a snake that could be the only python native to the Western Hemisphere, native to the Americas. But is it a python or isn't it a python? Well, in this episode of Reptile Adventures, I'm gonna let you guys decide. Is this a python or isn't it? I'm Dave Kaufman, and these are my Reptile Adventures. All right, so we have just hiked to the top of this mountain. It took us about 2.5 hours to get up here. This view behind me is absolutely amazing, but our plan is that we're going to wait until it gets completely dark, and then we're going back down this mountain, and anything we see on the way down this mountain is going to be amazing. So we're all hanging out here right now, looking at how beautiful that is. All right, guys, we are heading down that mountain. The sun is set behind us. We're making our way down right now. Right?
Yes, indeed.
Right? Up?
I think we're going up.
Down. You guys can go up. I'm going down. Oh, actually, we are going up. Oh boy. All right, let's go. Daniel?
Yes.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you too, sir.
All right, we've come across a little problem here. This cactus has fallen across the trail. So if we climb this mountain for nothing, oh, dude, no good.
Don't worry. We're getting through.
Oh, we're going over here. You lose this round, cactus. All right, we're going around this way. Come here, pooper butt. So this is an unexpected find to find in a dry environment like this. This is a rhinoclemy. This is a South American wood turtle, rhinoclemies. And this is like the exact opposite environment that I would expect to find a South American wood turtle. This is actually my lifer, so was that bug that just bit me. But look at this guy, he actually has blue eyes, and look at that plastron. Man, what a gorgeous turtle. Look at those red lines on his head, those oranges and yellows on his side of his head and on his arms. This is a really gorgeous turtle. And look at this, he's gotten some battle scars here. He's missing a couple of the scoots there. Otherwise, just a perfectly healthy turtle. And he's got that foam on his back, and that's caused by a certain species of toad here that is a foam nesting toad. And he's got those on his back. So this guy was probably hanging out in those ponds all day long. Now that it's night, now that it's cooler, he's on the hunt for something good to eat. But again, this is a South American wood turtle, one of the coolest turtles. And for all you turtle people out there, you know exactly how excited I am to find this guy. Man, what an awesome find, and what an unexpected find.
Rainbow Mealworms is not only a proud sponsor of this channel, they are the premier source for all your reptile food needs. They grow all of their quality insects in-house, and I use them exclusively for all my insect-eating reptiles. So place your order today at rainbowmealworms.net or click the link in the description below.
This is the trail, and it goes all the way down the mountain. One faulty step, and I'm sure those trees will stop you before you fall all the way down there, but still, be careful.
Will do, Buckaroo.
Okay. Whoa. All right, what do we got? Oh, jeez. Look at that beautiful thing. That is a Coleonyx. That's the biggest Coleonyx I've seen. They grow them big down here. Daniel, would you like to say something about the Coleonyx?
Sure. It's endemic to this area. In the Yucatan we also have this, but it's the Yucatanensis. it's nice to see this one because it's definitely a little bigger than what I've seen them before.
Yeah.
The contrast is a lot more pronounced than the other type we have, so pretty neat. And this is a male too, so
very, very cool. We all know and love leopard geckos. Well, this is essentially a mini leopard gecko. They are in the same family. They're in the same eublepharid family. So where fat-tailed geckos and leopard geckos are old world eublepharids, these are the only new world eublepharids. These are the only new world geckos in that family that are found from about here in Guatemala all the way up through Mexico. And these guys are found even in the United States, in California, Arizona, and even up into Nevada. And I never understood why these weren't more popular, because these absolutely are mini leopard geckos. And where leopard geckos are born with that kind of banding pattern, these guys retain that into adulthood. This is an adult gecko. This is all the bigger that they get. And this one is actually a pretty big one in the genus. All right, buddy, off you go. Go on. Man, these are just amazing geckos. Listen to that frog calling behind me. That's what's known as a Star Wars frog, because its call sounds like a blaster. I think that's my favorite frog now. You know, it's interesting though, because there's a species of bat out here that has learned to hone in on the call of the Star Wars frog, and that bat can pick those frogs up with deadly precision by honing in on that Star Wars call, on that blaster call. So the poor frog has to make a decision on whether it wants to survive the night or does it want to mate. And so those frogs calling right now is like ringing the dinner bell to that species of bat out here that is flying around, honing in on each individual frog. Even so, I think the Star Wars frog is now my favorite frog just because of that call. All right, look at this thing. We have no clue what this is. I mean, that's just sticking out of the ground. It's got to be some sort of alien meteorite type something. I mean, seriously, look at that thing. What is it? Look at that. Looks like a sulcata shell.
with a poor diet.
With a very poor, look at that pyramiding. All right, comment below and let me know if you have any guesses what this thing is. That is right out of outer space. That's just bizarre. So this little dude is almost a complete mystery. We're not really sure exactly what this is, but we do know that it's in the genus Cybon, or sometimes pronounced Cybon, depending on your pronunciation. But this is one of the slug-eating snakes out here, and what we do know is that this is one of the rarest slug-eating snakes out here. Take a look at how small that head is, whereas other slug-eaters have much bigger heads than this guy does, and look at that really awesome coloration. And so this guy cruises along the forest floor at night and looks for slugs or snails, and that is its primary diet. But it is a cool little snake, and one that not a lot of people actually find when they come here to Guatemala. But I'll tell you, when I'm out herping in a new area like here in Guatemala and I find a snake that really makes you wonder and that you have to sit and go through all the books and key out, that's the kind of herping that I really like, because that really kind of takes me back to those early days of herping when I would find snakes and have to sit there for hours and read the books and try to figure out exactly what I had. And when we find a snake like this, that even the guides aren't really sure what we have here, man, that really takes me back to those early days of herping. Such a cool little slug-eating snake here. And here we have the star of the show. This is Loxoscemus bicolor. This is also known as a burrowing python or a New World python. So as we think about pythons, we think about ball pythons, reticulated pythons, rock pythons, basically old world pythons from Africa, from Australia. We don't think about pythons existing in the Americas. And this one is the only one that does. But is it actually a python? It's a constrictor. It kind of looks like a rubber boa, but it does lay eggs, so it's not a boa. So there's a lot of belief that this is the only species of python native to the Americas. And as we learn more about this snake, some people are questioning whether this is a python at all. Even though the common name burrowing python still sticks, and it is widely accepted that this is, in fact, a python, and again, the only python found in the New World. But if you look at that head, it's kind of got a bit of a shovel nose, kind of like sunbeam snakes in Southeast Asia. But just look at that amazing iridescence that it has. So there's a whole school of thought that believes that this is more closely related to sunbeam snakes that are found in Southeast Asia. And some people flat out reject that this is even a python. So I'm going to leave this up to you guys in the comments below. Do you believe that this is, in fact, the only python native to the Americas, native to the New World? Or do we have it all wrong, and this is actually more related to sunbeam snakes and not a python at all, despite that it lays eggs, it constricts its prey, and it feels heavy-bodied just like a constrictor, just like a rosy boa or a rubber boa. So that one was just a juvenile. This is an adult. Look at how big and beautiful and powerful these New World pythons are. And as an adult, look at that white flecking that they get all over their body. These look very similar as adults to a savu python or other pythons from Indonesia. And look at that iridescence they have even as adults. These are just big, beautiful, powerful constrictors. And again, this is an adult. They get to be about 3 or 4 feet long. Man, what a snake. So when it comes to that question on if this is actually a python or not, there is debate on whether or not this is a python. So I'll leave it up to you guys in the comments below. But man, what an amazing night of going out herping here in Guatemala, finding some amazing reptiles, including this big, beautiful burrowing python. So anyway guys, there is lots more reptile adventures coming up, so as always, thanks for watching, and until the next reptile adventure, love the planet, feed your reptile obsession, and rattle on.